The Ben Heck Show is brought to you by Element 14, the electronic design community and online store built for engineers and hobbyists alike. Join now and browse the store at element14.com.
Benjamin J. Heckendorf. Every week he takes on new projects, shares tips and tricks, and answers your viewer questions on The Ben Heck Show.
Hello and welcome back to The Ben Heck Show. In today's episode, we'll finish the mini arcade system by building a cabinet for it, wiring it all together, and making it look nice. Let's get started. But first, the news. Today on Ben News, I'd like to show you this Ben PC that I made for AMD. The idea here is something that would look great on your entertainment center and allow you to play Steam in your living room. So yes, like a Steam box. It's mostly made of acrylic. It has an aluminum base. All your controls and the built-in power supply are in the back, along with built-in Wi-Fi. The AMD logo lights up in green. There's a sync button so you can hook up an Xbox 360 controller, and yeah, kind of wish I could keep it for myself. Okay, I routed this control panel portion of Sintra. Now I'm applying some graphics to it. And after the graphics are dry, I'll dry them in the sun, we'll put an acrylic layer on it, and then we'll be ready to install in the cabinet. This is the first part we're going to put. The rest of the panels are just basically panels. This one actually has some stuff on it, so we're doing this one first just to make sure it all works. All right, the graphics have been baking in the sun on this piece of Sintra, so now they're stuck really well. I applied this piece of laser cut acrylic on top of it, and now I can put the buttons in. So arcade buttons, you basically just cut a hole and you put the buttons through, and then you put a nut on once they're all the way through. Should have made my hole a little bigger. Oh wow. I think this is the right color pattern for Neo Geo. I double checked at least once. Then we put the nuts on. Then we mount the micro switches in place. See how that works? Now we're going to put the joystick in. Here are the 4 mounting screws. The joystick goes in place over it. Then we have the joystick itself and the retaining clip. We'll put that on in just a second. But first we'll mount this. So to install a standard arcade joystick, we put it through on this side with the sheath. Then back here, we put the actuator on it. Wait a minute. There we go. All right, let me put on this clip. Now we put on this clip. Ta-da! When we wire the actuator, we have to do it opposite of what we want. So if I push left on the joystick, it's actually this one on the right. Or if I push right on the joystick, it's actually this one on the left. So we basically have to wire it in reverse. I've got the panels mostly cut for this, so I'm going to start putting them in place to make sure they all fit. Once I know they all fit, I can start with the wiring. Here's the bottom panel. And I've cut a access panel into it so you can get at the joystick buttons. Otherwise, once this was all sealed up, you wouldn't be able to get at them. To make it fit better, I'm just putting in some screws that will pull the pieces together, even though I'm not completely done building it yet. I just want to make sure it all fits. One of the shop neighbors here over that way are arcade distributors, so they let me pull some cam locks off an old cabinet. So free cam locks, a $4 value. All right, let's put this in place. Come on, lock. Okay, there we go. Now that everything's in place, we can place the hinges. Put them right there and there. All right, there's the hinges. So now you can open it up and get at the insides. Zah! Now I can start wiring everything together. I've got a common ground wire here, which I'm going to attach to all these switches, and then I will attach their individual connections using the JAMA cable. I got these 3/16 inch disconnects from the hardware store. These are kind of like the proper way to attach micro cherry switches. You crimp them, and then you can slip them right on, which means you can easily take them apart as well. It's a better way of doing it than directly soldering right onto the switch. I'm chaining all these black ground wires together, and one easy way to do it is to actually strip the wire off, but not to cut the wire. Then you can bend it over like this, twist it, and put that into your disconnect. Just saves you the trouble of having to cut and reattach wires. I also like to crimp and solder these connectors just to make sure the wire is in there good. Now it's time to hook up the JAMA cable. So we're hooking up the ground from all these switches to the JAMA ground. And then the JAMA cable is numbered, all the pins are. So we're gonna cross-reference the colors on the wires to the numbers on the sheet here and hook up all the Player 1 controls. With the controls wired up, I'm now gonna wire up the speakers. Again, most arcade PCBs have amplifiers built in, so you can hook them right up to the speakers. But don't take my word for it. Hey engineers, wanna sharpen your coding chops? Check out the Code Exchange on the Element 14 community. It's the place to share your embedded designs and project code. It's simple to collaborate on Code Exchange to solve coding conundrums. Can you say that 100 times fast? Just go to www.element14.com/code exchange. Then either select See the Current Lessons to get a coding tutorial or post your code to exchange your code with other engineers. The Code Exchange is one more way the Element 14 community is working to make doing business easier for engineers. Go to www.element14.com/code exchange today. Here's the base plate, and I kind of have it in relation to this as it's going to fit together. And just like other things we've built, we always want to sandwich it together and make it so you can take it apart. So I'm going to make sure everything's connected here, and then once I know it is, then I can fold this all together. I've also still got to attach the coin door, but we'll do that soon. I made an extra bezel for the coin door just to give it a little bit more decoration. Now to install the free coin door that we got off an old arcade cabinet next door. I am now wiring up the AC input. I need to split it two ways. One needs to go to the monitor and one needs to go to the power supply for the Neo Geo. Here are all the parts wired together. AC power comes in, there's a main switch. AC goes to the picture tube, AC also goes to the power supply for the Neo Geo. Neo Geo plugs into the picture tube. Here, I guess plugging that in would probably be a good idea. There we go. Here's the controls and here's the speakers. So we're ready for a test. All right, let's see if it works. Okay, so I guess that was the on position. Very Japanese. It seems like it works. Oh man, CRTs make so much noise, it's kind of scary. Okay, I'm gonna reach in and give myself a credit. My assistant Trash Cat is telling me it's now time to do final assembly, right, Trash Cat? So yeah, your left finger is going to be the pivot point, like before. Oh, I'm sorry, your right finger, sorry. Maybe it's pretty good. A little bit closer. Yeah. Yeah, let's see where that gets us for the rest of it. That looks good. Let me just take a look. Where's the edge? I think that's pretty good. Hey, let's use this old crappy t-shirt to flatten down the vinyl. Start in the middle, work our way out. Happy little clouds. So this is a special type of 3M vinyl that has microscopic and very hard to see holes in it. And that allows the air bubbles to come through the vinyl instead of getting stuck under the vinyl. So it makes it really easy to apply. It's called 3M Scotch Cal, or sometimes Control Tack. I think this will be a slick looking unit, and I can't wait to play some games. Now that this mini arcade cabinet's done, I can finally play some Neo Geo, specifically the game Bust a Move. This is a great game, especially with 2 players, you battle another person. So arcade machines are kind of dead out in the wild, but they can still be a lot of fun for home use. So hopefully this has inspired you to make your own JAMA-based arcade game creation. Today's viewer question comes from Ez, who asks, I need to buy a really decent soldering iron. What would you recommend? Well, Ez, I use a Weller WESD51 iron with variable temperature control. It's great for different types of projects. It also heats up very fast, so you can get right to work. Find it at element14.com. That's all the time we have for today. In our next episode, I'll help you set up your workbench by showing you the best tools and parts that a modder or engineer should keep on hand. We'll see you then.
Stay tuned at element14.com/TBHS, where you can join the discussion, suggest builds for the show, and even have a chance to win upcoming builds. Remember, you can always email build ideas to benheck@element14.com. Thanks for watching.